Okay guys, so we're going to do 11-5. What I want y'all to do is go ahead and skip those first 4 problems. It's going to be really difficult for me to explain how to do that without y'all here. So we're going to go ahead and omit that least common multiple stuff. It's really not that big of a deal because we're not really looking for least common multiple as much as we're looking for common denominator. So we're going to be adding fractions. I know y'all love fractions. So the rule when adding fractions is this number or whatever's down here has to be the same. It's called the common denominator. So if it's the same, you just add them up. X squared plus x squared is 2x squareds, and the denominator stays the same, and you're done. Okay? Alright, so let's look at one that's a little more difficult. Let's do let's do number 13. And this is going to be really difficult for those of you that struggled in quadratics because there's a lot of factoring that happens here. Okay, so let's go. Some of y'all are just going to have to come to tutorials for this particular assignment because there's a lot of really complicated factoring that happens here. And if you don't know how to do it, it's going to really mess with you. Okay, so if you're struggling with the factoring or how to figure this out, come see me in tutorials and I'll help you. Okay, so look, this is what we call a perfect a difference of squares. We saw it a lot in quadratics, but if you have x squared minus something else squared, then you end up with the factors x plus 5, x minus 5, because 5 squared is 25. And then this, we need factors that add up to 6. Well, and factors of 5. Well, it's 5 and 1 because 5 plus 1 is 6. So there's the factors. Okay, so what I need to do now is I need to figure out what this fraction is missing from here and what this fraction is missing from here. They both have x plus 5. Okay, so then I need to multiply this one over here by x plus 1. Okay? And this fraction is missing x minus 5. So I have to multiply it by x minus 5. Okay? And so now the denominators are the same. And I can add them up. So 4x plus 4, I just distribute that in. Plus 6x minus 30. 4x plus 6x is 10x, and 4 minus 30 is negative 26. All divided by the same thing, x plus 5, x minus 5, x plus 1. And you're done. Okay? So again, some of these are going to be pretty tricky, and the best I can say is if you're having trouble with them, please come see me in tutorials because I can't help you if I don't know you're having trouble. And I can almost bet a lot of y'all are going to have a little bit of trouble with this. Okay, on the back, we are now dividing fractions. So let's look at the easy one, 2 over x over 3 over y. Remember, this is just like what we were doing before on the previous thing, the previous assignment, where we divide. What's the rule? You flip the other one over and multiply. So this is the same thing as 2 over x divided by 3 over y. And the rule was you take the second fraction and you flip it over. So you do the same thing here, except you're going to take the bottom fraction and flip it over. So this becomes times y over 3, and now that is gone. And then you just multiply straight across. So you get 2y over 3x. Okay? So, not too bad on this one, number 15. But then things get a little worse on some of these other ones. So let's look at number 19. 4 over x squared minus 1 divided by 3 over x plus 1. So, first rule, we already know we're going to take this bottom one and flip it over and multiply. And so this is now gone. Okay? And so you end up with 4x plus 1 over 3x squared minus 1. Okay? And here's where, again, this quadratic stuff that I told y'all was so important comes into play. This, again, is a difference of two squares. So you still have the same numerator, but this guy factors to x plus 1, x minus 1. So 4x plus 1 over 3x plus 1, x minus 1. And those go away. And so you end up with 4 over 3 x minus 1. And you're done. Okay? So look, guys, you really need to understand the factoring stuff. And I told y'all back when we did this in quadratics that factoring was very important. So if you're having trouble with the factoring aspect of this, which I assume a lot of y'all will have some trouble with this, please see me in my Zoom tutorials. I can help you, but I can't help you unless you tell me you're having some trouble. All right? That's it for this one.